Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at how the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 2-bike platform rack fits on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. So the Sherpa is very popular because it is a stylish rack, it has really smooth movement, and it can fit a lot of bikes. Now there are some downsides to this, like if you have a very heavy electric bike, this has a max weight capacity of 40 pounds. But other than that, it's a really good fit for our Hyundai Santa Fe, and we'll talk about why. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the tilt-away feature. There's going to be this lever in the center of the rack. You're going to want to pull that lever and just let the rack drop down to a tilt. Even with the bikes on, you'll still be able to access your hatch. Some notes I would say though is make sure the pedals, if you have large pedals, are in the down position. But other than that, even with our longer handlebars, we still have plenty of clearance to open up the hatch. Now we can get in there, grab our backpacks, our waters, change out our shoes, all without having to take the bikes off. On the other hand though, if you do need to take your bikes off, it's a very simple process. So first we're going to lift this up. It snaps into place, and now we're in the ready to ride position. Notice our touch points on our rack. So we only have two touch points. The first is going to be our front wheel mount, and the second is going to be our wheel strap. There's zero frame contact, so whether you have a carbon fiber frame bike, a step-through bike, no worries there. We're going to take the strap off because we're going to take the bike off. So you'll do this in reverse order when you're putting the bike back on. So strap goes out to the side, and then hold onto the bike with one hand as you use your other hand to press this lever. Lift that up, push out, and now you're ready to hit the trails. So this does have a 40-pound weight capacity. So this fits some of your lighter electric bikes when you take the batteries off, but a lot of the bikes seem to be getting heavier and heavier. This does also have a maximum tire width of 3 inches. So notice this cradle design. So this folds down to be more compact and neat. Then you also have your rear cradle, which pivots back and forth for different wheelbases. The maximum wheelbase for that is going to be 47 inches. This also lifts up to fold down. Notice the nice colors on this rack though. So this is going to be your Kuat Sherpa in gray. You can also get this in metallic black, which will have silver accents, or you can get this in pearl, which is a white, shiny color. This is going to be on the compact side too for a bike rack, meaning it won't take up as much space. So measuring from our bumper to the end of the rack, I have it at 32.5 inches. If you have a really small garage and space is at a premium, that's a good measurement to know. Another good measurement is ground clearance. So from the ground to the bottom of the rack at the end, that's 21 inches. Compare that to your hitch, and that's 12.25 inches. So if you have a really steep driveway or you're going over some steep inclines like hills, this will give you more ground clearance so your bikes don't hit the ground. Looking towards the hitch too, notice how we have the 2-inch shank version. You can also find this in an 1.25 inch shank version. They're going to work the same. It just really depends on your hitch receiver. So we actually installed this 2-inch hitch receiver on the Santa Fe. If you do not already have a hitch, you can find one here at eTrailer. You have a hitch pin and a lock at the end. Now, we're going to make this more compact. So I'm going to pull this lever. This time I'm going to lift up on the rack, and it folds up against the vehicle. Taking some measurements, length, our clearance is going to be 2.75 inches between the rack and the car. From the bumper to the end of the rack, it's 15 inches. Also, this is how you access your anti-rattle. It's going to be a knob that turns and secures the bike rack in the hitch receiver. And that way, even as you shake the rack, if it moves, is also the car moving. Like there's not extra rattle there, especially with that design. So some thoughts of this, especially with this on the car, is that With it in the folded up position, you will not be able to open up your hatch. You are going to have to bring this rack down. Fortunately, because of the design of the pedal, you can just step on it and bring it down, which is helpful if you have groceries in one hand or your bike. Another thing with this is it looks really good, especially with this trim. I recommend getting the bike rack to match the color of your vehicle because that's an option, and not all bike racks have that option. Now, you also need to get the bike rack to match your bikes. If you have heavy bikes that weigh more than 40 pounds, maybe consider upgrading to the Kuat NV, which is a more premium rack at a more premium price point, or taking a look at the Rocky Mounts monorail, which is very similar, but that one has a 60-pound weight capacity. So you can check out all those different bike racks here at etrailer.com if you want to compare. But this is a solid rack and is a great way to carry your bike safely and securely. This was a look at the Kuat Sherpa 2.0 2-bike platform rack on our 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe.